Good afternoon and welcome to this Friday's edition of Dave in the Shed. I'll try not to cover the microphone and muffle the sound this week. But anyway, been lots of layout maintenance being done this week. Next week, I'm going to do a bit of a reveal next week of something very exciting, which everything planning this week is leading up to something that next week, I'm not going to announce what it is, not going to jinx myself, but next week something very exciting is coming to the Twin Pines Sandway. It's mostly here now, but I don't want to do the big reveal till next week. So, yeah, that'll be an interesting one. But anyway, let's see what I've done this week. Possum's Bridge. There's Possum on Possum's Bridge. Got a bit of a makeover this week. Strengthened it all up. Made it all nice and solid. It's still removable to clean the track. But it's been a bit of one of those jobs where it really hadn't been finished. I had to print a few bits and pieces. Need some paint touch up now. But Possum's Bridge, yeah, was sort of like the maintenance work. If you've seen that, it's been a bit of one of those things where one of those jobs that was never finished. It still needs a bit more finish, still needs a bit of paint, but it's in place, it's secure, it's pretty solid. Now, I've been doing a lot of upgrades and maintenance around this area. All the buildings, the flat back tops in this area were redone this week. I've worked out a new method for them. These used to be paper printed buildings which are then glued onto core flute. But this new method that we've tried this week at a great success is they are printed onto a sticker paper, onto an A4 sticker paper. The A4 sticker is then stuck onto foam board, and then you cut out the foam board with the sticker in place and you end up with these great building flats. So these were peeling off and causing a few hassles. So the old buildings, not these ones are new. So these are foam board flat buildings. They are photo printed onto an adhesive sticker. I could probably put a link in to show you what I mean by sticking onto a sticker. The sticker is then placed on to foam board and then they're cut out. And I've also come back and touched up all the ballast in this area. The ballasting was a bit hit and miss when it was first done. There's still a bit more to do around the points. But I've done, touched up all the ballast. All the grey ballast is here up into the shed. So that was all touched up and ballast and bits and pieces and done better. Working around the loco shop. There is a point here that is a bit strange. It doesn't quite point as well as it should. Umming and ahhing about replacing it, but it's okay. You can still operate. It's just if you're coming down the hill, look, I don't know if you can see it in the video, it just doesn't close fully. So if you're operating up the hill, it's fine. If you're operating down the hill, you've got to make sure the point is over. Some vehicles just split the point. I've had to re-glue up the water tower, so the water tower's not in the scene, it's on the workbench. But there you go. This will all come, why I've done this will all be explained next week. But anyway, there are, that's a bit of an upgrade, fixed all those buildings, touched up all that. Now, up here, up the hill, I have done something really bizarre. This is actually not a scenic part of the layout, but since I was out playing with the scenic stuff, I actually scenicked this area of the layout as well. Now there's the signals now in place here. These signals, semaphore signals for the block section working are done. There is the landmark signal to represent the block. And I thought, well, I'm playing with the scenic stuff. Scenicked all this area. So it's ballasted and scenicked and all done. So that was interesting. It was just like with everything else that's going on around the world. The best thing about this is, because you let the glue to dry, I can pull the stuff down and then I can go off and do what I have to do and come back and poke along. It's one of those jobs you can do for like spend half an hour. Anyway, you know what to do. Now, the actual incline on the hill, what I've done is I've printed out these sections and these will go in here and this will be a sort of like a fake truss rod bridge heading up the hill. So these are all sections that I've 3D printed. They will have to be painted, but then we'll have a fake truss rod bridge that looks like that up the hill. Now, I've ballasted and grassed the area behind the park gates, Parramatta Park gates. That was all bare before. Hang on, before the gates down the road. Oop, hang on, put the camera on. So this has all been scenicked and ballasted. This is the ballast actually holds the track down a bit better. So I actually updated all the grass and scenery. I do have to do some work on the backboard. These buildings here, they're okay for now. There is a bit of peeling, but these were printed and glued onto the foam core board, so they're a little bit better. than the buildings that were down in the later section done many years ago. So this has all been upgraded. I will now reprint the backboard, back scene and do all that. But this has all been scenic and upgrade and finished, because if you look in the earlier photos, that's all not done. Also, next job is to come back and do some more paint work on the park gates to finish that off. And yeah, that's roughly what's going on this week. I have done all that. Worked, as you saw in the last video, on the bridge section. I have printed out some bits and pieces to finish the wall. So yeah, we're getting there. The bench work is a total mess on the bench. That's the water tower and the depot that I've been repairing and doing up, so it'll have to go back in. This week was also spent some time, here comes Jasper Cat, getting airbrushes ready, because it's almost the warmer days. So I've still got to go post office, pick up one more part for the airbrushes, but airbrushes are now mostly in service and ready to go. As the days get warmer, we'll then start putting paint on the Sydney trams that are sitting here waiting for some paint and some bits and pieces. So we're almost come back in this paint season. I did some upgrade work on the paint booth. That's not too exciting to see. And that's about it. So next week, I'm going to have something really interesting. Well, I think it's really interesting to show you. Till then, take care. Don't forget, if you've got any questions about anything that I've shown or talked about, please ask. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe. So until next week, it's goodbye and farewell from Dave in the Shed, and keep safe and go there and do some modelling and play with your trains, people. Have some fun. Catch you later.